Welcome back, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for taking the time to spend a little time with me. I always appreciate that, man. And I just got a real quick video here in regards to the ratings, the rookie ratings that was recently released by Madden NFL 19 or released by EA Sports for Madden NFL 19. And I just wanted to give my quick thoughts on it, man. I mean, I don't really get into the number per se. A lot of people seem to get hung up on that. I don't necessarily get caught up on the number. I just want to see how do these guys, how does it translate on field? That's what the most important thing to me. You guys know I've said it before. I prefer the ratings to not even be shown. Let it just be, behind the curtain, so to speak, and maybe we just, you illustrate their skills or their abilities or their archetype or what have you. That would work for me, but that's just me. I'm just crazy like that. But let's take a look at a couple of these, man. We'll start off with the running backs. I see that SimFBallCritic would be the highest rated rookie as far as running backs at an 82 overall. I'm not too upset about that. But when you look at what he has here, they have some good speed for him, 92. And again, I don't know how that translates. I just assume anything 90 or above, you're pretty fast. So I can, definitely agree with giving Saquon some speed. His juke move is pretty solid. And I would expect him also to have some other intangibles, things like, his receiving should be pretty well. I don't know how good a route runner he is, but a couple other things you would expect a guy like Barkley to have. Agility should be fairly decent, etc., etc. Now, if you look at Darius Geis here, I think Geis, in my opinion, was a little bit slighted on the speed. Again, I'm not getting involved with the actual number, but like I said, I would believe the way it works in Madden is that anything that's 90 or above is pretty fast. 89, you're right at that mark. But the reason why I think he was a little bit slighted, I'm not saying he's the fastest guy in the world. I haven't watched all of his film, but I've seen him have some breakaway runs. Now, I'm not saying that an 89 can't do that, but again, I just want to see how it translates on the field. I think they did good with giving him decent agility, which is 93, as well as 85 in both stiff arm and juke. And he also has a 91 mark in carrying and trucking. So again, we know how violent he runs. He kind of reminds you of a Marshawn Lynch, in terms of his violence and his approach, the way he runs, very violent way of running, very violent demeanor. And I'm not saying violent as in a bad thing. I'm just talking about he's very determined, is hit or be hit type of guy. I love that. So again, is that going to translate on the field? Now, the rest of these guys, as you see, they round out. Ronald Jones is a 77. Sony Michel as well is a 77. And then you got Nick Chubb at a 76. Again, I didn't see a lot of these guys in college. I did see a little bit of Chubb. Definitely, his strength should be pretty high, which they have him at about an 85 right now, as well as they have his speed at 88. I don't know how fast or how slow Nick Chubb is, to be honest with you. But again, I would think, just kind of glancing at these guys in college, I would think Geis was a little faster. So I would have liked to have seen Geis have a little more speed, at least be, put in that category of fast guy versus, almost fast. I don't know. That's just my opinion. All right, so if we flip over and take a look at some of the other guys here, let's take a look at the wide receivers. We flip on that here. So as you can see, man, they have DJ Moore as the highest rated receiver. Now this is interesting, 77. He shares that same rating with Calvin Ridley. Now I say interesting because I prefer guys to come in with, a lower rating and have to build their way up. I'm more in the ballpark of the overall not really mattering that much. Of course, it seems like that might be the case now with the archetypes. Your archetype, the highest rated archetype will be your overall. So it doesn't necessarily mean that, you're a certain number across the board. It's just that that's where you excel. Again, are you able to translate this on the field? That's all I'm worrying about. Can you translate that on the field? Forget these numbers. As you can see, he has a 90 juke, talking about Moore here, an 83 and an 80 and an 82 in terms of his route running, 87 spec catch, 84 catching. So not too bad, not too bad, not too shabby, but he does excel with juking. So this might be a guy in the open field that you can have a ball, field day with. So we'll see. Now, if you look at Ridley here, again, he is a 77 as well, but they're showing that he excels more so in speed at 93, 95 agility, 91 juke, and a 78 catch in traffic. and only an 81 catching. So, you know, you have a little bit of hit to his catching, but if you get the ball in his hands, it looks like, you know, it could be pretty decent. Put him on a fly route or what have you. If you don't have any coverage over the top, that 93 speed is probably going to torch a lot of defenses. Then you got Dante Pettis at 76, Cortland Sutton a 75, and Anthony Miller a 74. So again, nobody's even rated up to the 80s. I like that. I like having guys come in lower, let them earn their way up, and let them excel in certain areas of their game. We're going to save quarterbacks for last because I know you guys are wondering about that. Let's go on to the defense here. So the top rated defensive rookies. All right, you got Roquan Smith, which is a guy I wish there was a possible way for him to end up in Pittsburgh. Obviously he didn't, but he comes in at a nice decent 81. He's not the fastest linebacker like they say here, but his speed 89 helps cover a great portion of the field, and an 88 tackle is the best among defensive rookies. Love that. 80 in zone coverage. This guy's going to be a monster. So whoever's running with the Bears or whoever's able to trade for the Bears, you know, for him from the Bears in their CFMs, it's going to be very interesting to see how he's able to cover, you know, and also when you're using him, we're going to see if the real player motion will definitely eliminate or at least limit the mobility of being able to cover 2 and 3 routes at one time. You know, that's something that definitely should not happen. And we'll see how that translates once the game is launched. Then you got Bradley Chubb, man, an 80 overall, 85 finesse move, 87 block shedding. He's going to be effective right away. Even has an 86 jump. So that's going to make some noise right there. Look at my boy, Derwin James. I say my boy because y'all know I'm a Florida State fan. 90 hit power, 90 speed, and 81 man coverage out of, you know, right out the chute. So again, that's a guy you're going to be able to build up. Denzel Ward, another guy that's gonna blow people away in terms of his speed, 95 speed and agility. Yikes. This guy's gonna be a problem, man. If you build him up the right way, get his man coverage, get his zone coverage legit, and there you have it. And then they rounded out with Vita Vea right there, 97 strength. Again, see, he excels with strength. So you would think, this is just me talking now, you would think that this would translate into block shedding. A 97 strength, even though he's only a 79 overall. Again, if you can get usage out of him using his attribute, great. It shouldn't matter what the overall is. You understand what I'm saying? So now let's go take a look at these quarterbacks, because I know that's what's getting the most talk. Let's take a look at these guys here. You got Baker Mayfield on the top. You got Lamar Jackson, Josh Rosen, Sam Darnold, and Josh Allen. Now, Josh Allen is all the way down at a 74. That's going to be interesting. He sports a 99 throw power. Wow, that's crazy. So like it says here, Allen will fit the strong arm player archetype perfectly with that 99 throw power. That's very interesting, but he's going to have some deficiencies somewhere else. Looking at Sam Darnold, he has a 90 throw power, 86 short, and an 82 mid accuracy. And let's see, his 73 deep rating means connecting on huge passes will be rare at best. Okay, so let's see how's it going to translate on the field. Looking at Josh Rosen, you see his numbers there. I'm not really going to go into detail. But what I will take a look at here, and I'm going to come back down to Lamar Jackson, and that's how we'll finish the video. Looking at Baker Mayfield, Baker Mayfield has an 87 throw under pressure rating. And that's going to be very interesting because he also has a plus 80 for short, mid, and deep ranges in terms of, you know, his accuracy. So it almost makes him the most efficient quarterback. Like it says here, he's one of the more versatile quarterbacks in the bunch. Very, very interesting. We're going to have to see how that's going to translate. And again, I know how people are going to, you know, look at these ratings and they're going to compare it to who's already in the game, you know, veterans and such. Again, that's why I said, man, the ratings thing is just subjective. That's why I don't really get into all of that. All I want to see is how these guys are performing on the field. And I'll save my best comparison for last here in Lamar Jackson. This is exactly what I want to see. Now, I watched Lamar Jackson in college. A lot of you guys may remember even when we were talking about who do we think the Steelers would draft and do you think they would go with Lamar Jackson if he's there late? And I said, listen, I like Lamar Jackson as a quarterback. I love his versatility. I love his run capability, his open field capability. The only slight knock I had on Lamar Jackson was he wasn't the most accurate quarterback. Not all the time. He made accurate throws, but he missed a lot of throws. Okay, both, mid to long to even some short intermediate routes, he missed them. That was my only knock on him. So right now, the way he's rated, it looks like we might see exactly that. He has a 91 speed, which is going to make him a huge threat on the field, especially for those guys that just like to take off with quarterbacks. Y'all know how they do. It's going to be tough to defend him. He also has 93 ball carrier vision, which, if I'm not mistaken, ball carrier vision I think helps out with blocking. Could be wrong there. Has an 86 spin, an 89 juke, and a 94 throw power. Now again, Lamar Jackson, I have said he has a good arm. He can get the ball out there. He just hasn't been the most accurate guy if you look at his college career. So to his accuracy, they're going to have him at an 83 short, 80 mid, and 74 deep. I'm cool with that. Again, it's not about the numbers, but I'm cool with him being at the average or below average mark for his accuracy until he proves otherwise. Because again, that has been a knock on him coming out of college. So it all goes back to what I said in the beginning. How will this translate on the field? That's all I'm concerned about. And I will say this without saying too much. We're not allowed to really give our reflections on the beta, but I can say this, from my time with the beta, I didn't play with Lamar Jackson. I didn't get to play with a lot of these guys, but playing against them, of course, a lot of times it was CPU. Sometimes I did play against a user. I like where the accuracy is at right now for these quarterbacks. I was seeing everyone make inaccurate throws and make more legitimized inaccurate throws, not some of those ridiculous ones. I've seen inaccurate throws by a lot of quarterbacks that look legitimate. No one hits every pass. So I like where it's at right now. I don't know what the final tuning will be, nor were the ratings final. So we'll see. But I just like what I saw out of what was presented there in terms of inaccuracy. So hopefully, if it stays the way it was, you're going to see a huge difference between these quarterbacks. I hope that holds true this go around. All right. So that's just my 2 cents on it, man. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, man, as far as, ratings. And again, I don't really get into the number. I just want to hear your general thoughts, but we'll see how that goes. All right, guys. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Cut on your notifications so you know when the next video is coming. And I promise, guys, it will never hurt you to hit that like button. All right, that will do it for now. But until next time, let me know what you think. Peace.